Hi, Antonio. I'm going to create a quick video for you. I won't be answering tickets tomorrow. I'm out of the office, so I'm actually staying late today to get through my tickets here, so I'm going to get to you a little bit earlier than expected. However, some advice. First, when you log into the account, maybe you can share this with your developer as well, because this is super important. Right here, there's the instructions button, but there's a special page of instructions for the Blacktop. So once we click that, we go to the instructions tab, and then I want to scroll down here. Oh, I scrolled too far. And this is a new one I've just put up here. I'll send you a direct link to it as well. But this page here, even if your guy helping you out doesn't look at any of the other instructions, this page here is going to really help get some things answered. For example, we go to the Dreamweaver tab right here. And basically what this is, we have a lot of different tutorials. We've added a lot to the system over the years, so I'm trying to streamline some of the information, right? But I know talking to Chris, one of your guys phoned in and was asking questions on how to do things and whatnot. Even watching a couple of the video tutorials that I have here will help get things straightened out, because when we designed the product for Dreamweaver, we used the different templating functions that were available, including Dreamweaver assets. An asset, one of the assets available in Dreamweaver is a library page or an include page. So when you see yellow code, that's a Dreamweaver asset, and we're taking advantage of that because that's the sort of the way things were designed. But your question about the YouTube video, so if we went to our tutorials page right here, you can just sort of scroll down, and the very first thing we take a look at here is instructions for global areas or components. These are things that every single page uses. In this case, we have the off-canvas menu, the website name, the graphic logo, using your own, using font awesome, breadcrumb trail, text links. Now let's get past all this and get down to the actual tips and tutorials by page right here. So we start with the index page, and there's the welcome, and right there the video background. So right here is a direct link to the YouTube video. Click on that, it'll show you where to go in Dreamweaver and update your YouTube video background. Okay, and then from that point on, every other component and thing in the site, including the information by page basis, like the different components used in different pages, it's all listed in here. So I'll send you a direct link to this page as well. Let me just run through your other questions here. All right, so I've opened up your site. I've downloaded a copy of your site. I've opened it up in Dreamweaver. Now everything in here is commented. So even without one lick of instructions, if you actually open the site up, now here's our design window right here. We'll flip it into the design view. If he's the developer, if he's probably going to be working in code view quite a bit, but we'll do both. My tip is you go to the view and go to the visual aids and just hide them when you're in the page, or do a Control Shift and I, and that'll make get rid of some of the weird lines and stuff. But you had a question about hiding areas, getting rid of sections in the page you don't need. Let's say we don't need this quote section, right? Well, when you're working in one of these templates, you click on an area, anywhere on that area, and you look down at the quick tag selector bar down at the very bottom. Let me bring that up a little bit higher by enabling the properties here. Okay, so I click somewhere in this area, I go down to my quick tag selector, and the first thing I'm going to look for, we always have this editable region here because it is a template, and that's part of the templating function. But next to it on the right is a section. You click the section like so, hit delete on the keyboard, and boom, that entire area is gone out of the page just like that. And you can also select other bits and pieces, like if you see something weird like this, hey, what is that? You click it, and it tells you. There's the editable region, and to the very right of that it says divider. So our pages are made up of sections and dividers. The dividers separate the sections, obviously, with either a shadow or a dark line or something like that, but you can just just click and it's gone. Right? So that's how easy it is to get rid of a section. To make it even easier, especially if your guy's a coder, you flip to the code view like so. Every single section in every single page is commented. There's our service and section start right there. There's the quotes. And if you want to get rid of anything, you can just sort of click on the section once again, boom, and you get rid of it like that. And this here is the little scroll to thing. So when you're linking from the menu bar at the top of the page, this is where it links to in the bottom. And you can see here we have a divider class and there's a section. So if you want to get rid of it, just flip to code view. Everything is commented. And the template is designed, there's a lot of stuff in there, but it is designed for new users. Okay, I'm the guy who designed it, so I hope I designed it for new users. If you look at just some of the video instructions I have from that page, you'll see that if you want to make changes to something, if it's a library component, you'll find the library here. We have sliders, we have things that are shared, those global components I was talking about earlier, and page specific components are kept in the components folder right here, right? Right, and just a quick answer to your video. In your site, some people may consider this to be an assets folder. That's really what it is, but we have site because we have different assets in here. Go to the site, the JavaScript, and the theme and init.js file. Open that up, go right down to the very bottom, and right here, there is the video ID right there within the single quotes. So you go to your YouTube video, your YouTube page, right? We're going to pull this up. We're going to go to .YouTube, and we're going to find a video. So you need to find your video. Let's go with this Nike commercial right here. Right up at the very top in the address bar up here, that is the video ID. You can also get it by going to the share, and it's there, but it's just as easy to grab it from the address bar. Right here, grab everything from after the equal sign, and you copy it, go back to Dreamweaver, put your cursor in here, in between the single quotes, like so. Paste it in there, save, and you're done. Now you get a different video on the page. Cool. So now that I've done that, I'm going to save my index page. I'm going to preview it and then talk about the colors for a second. Okay, you had some questions on colors. One of the things that we work through or talk about, or I talk about in a lot of the tutorials, is a tool called Firebug for Firefox. You could, if you wished, do it the hard way. You can go through the styles folders, and we have components and shared and styles and themes. For example, here's the theme.css. Everything, once again, is labeled, and a lot of standard template configurations or website configurations, it'll tell you what things are what. Basically, to look at things, styles does text, theme.css does the overall background of the page, the sections and the dividers. Shared.css, that styles any of the components within the shared folder, right? Your components.css styles anything that's within the components folder, okay? And then those are the main ones right there. For the sliders themselves, they actually have their own individual CSS folder, and those styles are loaded in individually. The reason we do that is because we don't share two sliders on the same page, because they're basically for the headers of the page. We don't need to load all that extra CSS in. Anyways, long story short, you can go through manually and find the little bits and pieces. Everything has a background color, and there you go. The faster way to do it is this. You would load up a page, you would find the area, so you open it up in Firefox, for example, you find a section of the page, here's the gold bar, and you right click and you inspect with Firebug for Firefox. And what that does is it opens up a nice little box like so, and it tells you what area you're clicking on right here. It was the breadcrumb bar that I was clicking on. And all your CSS properties are located over here, right? So it basically tells you right here, there's a breadcrumb bar after. I'm going to expand this all the way out so it's easier to see. And you're looking for a background style, and it may or may not have a color, but typically when you see something that says breadcrumb bar after, that means it is a partial style, such as an image or whatnot. What you're looking for right here is going to be just the base style. So if it says div class of breadcrumb bar, like so, you're going to be looking for the same class over here, and you may see it listed a couple of times, but we're looking for a background, and you'll see a mess of CSS like this, and if you hover over, it'll show you image, or in this case an RGBA color. Okay, and when you hover over it, it actually shows you the color. The really cool thing is you can make changes directly in here if you want, but in a nutshell, breadcrumb bar, it tells you what style sheet and what line to go to. All right, so you open up, it says theme line 66 or something like that. There's a breadcrumb bar. There's the background color. We use an RGBA, which is a red, green, blue, and alpha. So you don't need to use that, but you need to know your RGBA color if you wish to use a semi-transparent type color, or you can just simply scrub the RGBA and the brackets, get rid of all that, and guess what? Right above it is an actual solid background color you can copy from. And this is a backup. It's used for older versions of Internet Explorer. Yay, trying to support old browsers. But the idea being is I suggest whenever you see a background color like so, just scrub over it like so. Hit the backspace a couple times until your cursor is flashing up against the D. Hold Shift and the colon key, and it gives you a color picker like so. You can pick a color and then it pops it right in there for you. Okay, you save the page, we go back here and we refresh, and then it should change to whatever color we had there. Do I even have the right one open here? And there, now it changes the color of the bar. So really it's just a matter of using, like I said, suggest you can go through each style sheet and try and find it. It's all commented there. There's no use in putting out, in my opinion, there was no use in putting out a document to explaining where all that is, because the document would be longer than the style sheets. So it's basically duplication of information when we already have the style sheets all basically commented. And if you use a combination of Firefox and Firebug, you're good as gold. It's a lot faster. So I really recommend to folks who are developing websites that the fastest way to find a color for something, example, this color here for the font color, is to get going with Firebug and Firefox. And right there's our link. We go over here, hover over, there's the A color right there, and the cool thing is, watch this. Let's say we want to test out a red color to see how it looks. There we go. That's red. Now you see when I changed it in Firebug, it actually changed it in the page. So you can play around with all the different colors, boom, and then you go to your styles, line 32, when you sort of settle on something you like, right? There's the color right there. FF 1 2 3 4, boom, save, Bob's, it's all done. Bob's your uncle. Now if you have questions, send them through the Ticket Center. Typically any sort of question you may have we'll answer through a support video, but I can't walk you through it on the phone simply because it's far too complicated to, I have to stop what I'm doing, open up a site, go through, because I don't even have this stuff memorized. So when you send in a support ticket, it allows me to take a look at your site, take a look at exactly what answer you need, right? Whereas phone support, and one of the reasons why we don't do phone support unless it's scheduled in is, and by the way, it's a paid for service, but with phone support is we have to stop what we're doing. We have to look up, figure out how to answer your question, and then walk you through it. Whereas if you send it in a ticket, guess what? We can take the time, we can review the information, we can open up a website, we can do a video for you and show you exactly where to go and look and do and change things. So that'd be great. Thank you.